This should be a very good match. I think it's an important match as well, considering if you place first, you get through into the semifinals in the groups, and if you get top 3 or a second or third place, you make it through to the quarterfinals. And right now, MIBR are not in the top 3, so a very big game for them to potentially win here.
Well, yeah, no, these are the two teams where, like, I definitely didn't expect Envy to do as well as they did, but it was like, if Envy are going to make it through, I expect Liquid to do well, I expect Furia to do well, and then it's between those two to take the third spot. Now, Liquid have actually had some slip-ups along the way, like losing to Envy, I think you can definitely call a slip-up, although Envy seemed to deserve the victory. And now we actually go on to the first map. One of the maps they managed to take away from them is going to be MV kicking it off on the T side off Dust2. An aggressive start already with a quick trade early on. Mihu was one of the men really to watch in that series and has been pretty damn good in these online matches for MV. Of course, the other has been Calyx, and they're going to quickly push onto shore. It's Fallen to try and defend. He does have an Incendiary to slow them down, which should buy some time on the rotations, but they're just going to jump straight through it, Jason. It's going to be a TK in the mix of things, and well, because of that, we are going to see the CT side with a man advantage make it another. And while Mihu is going to fall to Taco, it's going to be MIBR to kick things off with a pistol, but it definitely was close.
Did he get dinked through the ground basically there when he was on site? I don't know. I think we were kind of watching the same thing though. That's a little unfortunate. Yeah, the TK definitely not helping things as well. I mean, Ryan has definitely stepped up since we saw him back at the Pro League in Season 9 when we were casting them. But Mihu and Calyx, they've kind of done some serious work over the course of these, like last week and a half. And we also have to talk about Fallen. I think he had like plus 38 in his match up against Yeah. And they also had like plus 30 in another one of their matches. I think it was against Bad News Bears. And obviously, a little bit difference in terms of opponents of what they're going up against now with Envy. But Fur is going to win a long-range USP battle inside of mid onto Nifty. Unfortunate from him, but Mihu again, his deagle is insane, at least what we've seen. He's going to get 1 kill, but that'll be
Bomb being down. Make things a bit awkward, but Moose has already found a second one. Now, this is a round where we've seen a bit of investment, actually a little bit more than usual. Moose actually investing into Kevlar, which a little bit surprising. But if he can do a reasonable amount of damage here, it may not be too much of an issue for them. Now, Fur has already made up a little bit of extra cash off the kills he's been able to get. But there's still potential for damage here for Moose. As I said, he's the one with the Kevlar. Trying to retrieve the bomb. And Mayan's going to be behind him. So MIBR are going to get the 2-0 conversion. But this is what I mean. Like, they've spent a bit more than usual, meaning their money's actually not really good enough to go for a proper investment. Mihu's going to buy an AK. Now, Calyx has invested into a Deagle, so these first couple of rounds for Envy have actually been really weird in terms of their finances. Like, they probably could have bought into this round if we hadn't seen the overinvestment in the last round. Now, Mihu's invested. I guess he's trying to be the hero AK, but he's doing it a round later than you'd normally see, so it's a bit odd. We'll see if it works out for them. If it does, they're going to look like geniuses, and I'll look like a fool. If it doesn't, well, they'll get a buy round in the next anyway, I hope. And, yeah, MIBR, well, this is another chance to make some cash. You can see they fully invested here. Of course, they think that there's a buy coming, and, well, Fallen's going to get the opener anyway.
Yeah, I think they're just kind of hoping that Mihu can kind of open up these sites. And then from there, if they do lose the round, then they can obviously buy up the 4 AKs next round, and Mihu will just be on the Deagle, which seems to be almost enough for him at times. Fur's going to take down Ryan, though. Nate comes through and, well, it really doesn't do that much damage, to be honest. Now, KNG says he's pushed out from window inside of B. Down to 15 health, but the damage has been done. There's just 2 players remaining. Calyx is a nice little turnaround on Fur, but they need way more kills than this. And there's still 2 players at the B site to maintain.
Okay, then. Calyx is still going ham. Nifty's found another. This was a round, as said, it was just a hero AK and a few pistols. Somehow this has turned into a 2 versus 2. A dominant start to the round. Fallen's going to be in position, though. As you said, he's been in form recently. I think one of the most exciting players to watch when he's in form. But that missed shot could cause him some issues, having to flee back round the corner. He will make it and find the kill onto Calyx as well. It even looks like he's going to be able to fall back into a passive position. Now, Nifty, he's kind of screwed here. Doesn't have any armor, needs an instant shot, and Fallen is not going to give him a chance. A little bit too close for comfort, I think, for MIBR. And not a bad round for Envy overall. The only issue is it still means they're buying in a round later than expected. The CTs, although their money won't be necessarily built up, they're still going to have a stronger buy.
There's still at least some damage done, right? I mean, at least got 3 kills. Unfortunately, they couldn't prevent the op from being picked up for MIBR. And now they've been able to go into the double op setup as well with KNG and Fallen together. I think for Envy, this is going to be definitely tough to dislodge. It comes down to, I guess, Nifty hitting his shots here. He's looking for the cross in middle, but he's not going to have an opportunity. And Fur's actually pushed up short, kind of by himself with Marin there to back him up in a few seconds. So looking for any sort of aggression here in MIBR, as they do have that early 3-0 lead. It looks like Fur will back away in time here. Cal's going to flash Ryan in, and well, Ryan looking to get on the board here, or at least more towards the normal part of the board. Currently on -1 at the moment with the TK and pissed around, but they've lost Mihu. They've already lost one player off the bat without getting the return frag.
Yeah, Mayan also just playing almost off of the anti-flash. It's actually gonna be forced up by the Molotov though, so can't really get anything done here. We'll just fall back and try and support. Be fair, actually, in the backlines. I like the fact that they've gone for this double AWP so early, though. I think MIBR, although they've not necessarily been in the best of form, they do have one of the best double AWP setups, potentially in the world. Like, Fallen and KNG, definitely when they're in form, very tough to beat. I'm going to see KNG on the B side. He's got support from Taco if things do go wrong, but he's got the peekaboo shots that he can take, and just one after one. This is very easy for KNG. King of the B site. Only Moose remaining. He's just trying to bait out the shot, but the fact is at this point, there's a defender to help out. So even if he managed to get the kill onto KNG, Taka will get the trade in a second. I think Moose realizes that saving that AWP is far more valuable, but he's not going to be given the chance.
See, I'm actually curious. I wanted to ask you, after you said it, why do you like see the double up set up so early out of MIBR? Because I feel like it's something that's like super risky, because if you lose that round, you're already down a lot of money. And then if the other team doesn't already have an op, you just gifted them an op. I'm just curious, what was the thought?
I think because they have two very capable AWPers, right? And it allows them to just section off different portions of the map. For example, tunnels. It's a fairly difficult point to hold without a lot of utility, but the AWP, he can just sit there and rattle off shots on long. The same can occur. Right, and that's an important shot to hit as well. But there's so many positions on Dust2 where the AWP is viable that a double AWP setup is perfect. And if you have the players that are good enough to do it, then go for it. Like, it's Fallen and KNG. Both players could easily be a primary AWPer in basically any other team. So the fact that Fallen did take the hit for KNG is fantastic, but on this map, doesn't have to.
Well, it seems like they're grouping up for a B hit here. Flashbang thrown in, but again, Fallen's going to be there, and he does hit the first shot on Calix, and the spray down from Taco, and Fallen will be enough. MIBR up to a strong 5-0 start, and again, this is a map they have played before. I think the first time they actually did play this map was up against and they won it 16-5, so it didn't seem to really be pressured too much on it. And Envy, if I'm not mistaken... Oh, no, okay, I am mistaken. I thought they did play Dust2 already in one of the series, but they actually have not played this map. But we'll see. Maybe they can turn some things around. It is still early stages in the half. Only 5 rounds. Again, Ryan's still looking to get on the board potentially here. I wonder how they're actually going to counter the double op setup. Okay, well, you can't depend on shots like that every time to dislodge a double op setup. Ryan might not expect Fur pushed up so aggressively. Yeah, even Nifty's not going to expect it. The bomb now down. Fur's going to look to escape from this one. He's not going to be pressured from long. At least not in time. So some time being taken away from the board, and Takano just gets caught out.
A lot of aggression across the map at the moment. Mayan be there to trade, so it's not a huge loss. In fact, KNG has found a kill in the meantime. Ryan and Mihu looking for a way back into this round. Somewhat split into mid. Long control's been taken from KNG, and it means that in a retake, he's going to be so viable if they do go towards the A site. That's actually retrieved the other one. A bit of an issue. That nade is perfectly placed, but doesn't actually do that much damage. He's got to be careful. He's going to get pushed to Mihu again. Instant headshot onto Fur. They're now going to try and split back towards this B side. Are they going to expect that to be here? They do. Mihu again. 3 kills now to give them a chance in this round. It's KNG 1v2, and he's a little bit far behind.
Well, he's got the kit. He's got a P250. He's got Mihu down to 14 HP, and it looks like he'll actually be playing outside of window. So he's going to have an opportunity for the one-on-one up against Ryan here in a few seconds. Time starting to tick away, and KNG looking for that angle, looking for that shot. He's got so many angles to check. think he did spot out Ryan, so Ryan's just going to back off for now. The Molotov's going to force him out of position, but Mihu's going to be over towards Car now. AK picked up for KNG. Now he's got to go. He's got to make a move through. He's done some decent damage to Ryan with the Molotov, but it won't be enough. And Envy will finally secure their first round of the half.
Yeah, not onto the board, and well, the man on your screen is one of the main reasons they were able to do it. Just so you know, you were correct. Envy played Liquid on Dust2 and won.
Oh yeah, they did. I can't even read my own handwriting. It was 16-7.
That's the. I feel like you've done that more than
I
once.
was like, what's
they played
0-2?
Dust2.
Well, I've never had good handwriting.
Me neither.
So that's my excuse.
I just use HLTV because it's a very, very good platform. Means I don't have to read handwriting at all. It's fantastic.
I should stop second guessing myself. I even thought they played it. KNG goes for the op pick in middle. They have been able to force the double ops yet again. Ryan down to 23 health, and it looks like they want to push out from this.
The control. Actually going to put down a second smoke to make things a little bit awkward for KNG. The flash leaves him blind as well, and Taco is trying to pull back in the side. KNG has just been ruined. Taco now has to try and be the solo hold on this B side. Doing a great job. 2 kills and buys a lot of time for the rotations, but with the smokes down the CT side, haven't actually been able to push through them just yet. Wait until they have a flashbang to make their way back in now. Fur, currently holding the AWP, does have an incendiary, so he can try and clear things out. Of course, the T's actually moving so quickly have got quite a lot of utility of their own. 2 Molotovs left, flashbangs to try and delay. This is going to be a really tough retake for MIBR, and by the time all of the flames are gone, I think they're going to be running out of time, so just have to fall back. It's a shame. They'll keep one of the AWPs, so that will at least be brought into the next round, although unless they can find a second on the floor, the double AWP won't remain. And, well, it seems like the change of pace has made things a little bit more difficult for the AWPers.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was like worried about, is that if Envy did play quick, the double ops, like you're gonna lose those very early on within the rounds. I mean, they did some decent early damage, but the way they got these 5 rounds were just like these aggressive play. I guess you can kind of ignore the pistol round, but this random aggression towards short, Fur was able to catch him out a couple times. Mihu finally got the better of one of the players there when they had the op set up. But it seems like this just aggression pushing through is doing work for him. I just wonder though, when MIBR adapts to this and starts to play a little bit more passive, will that continue to work out for them?
Once again, we're going to see a fast take, a battle for long. In fact, 4 players going in this direction. KNG completely blind, but luckily the young Argentinian has got his back as they slaughter the remaining T's. In fact, all 3 players dropping, and the 4th just decides to scurry away. In the meantime, Mihu is going to try and find a way back in, but Fur wins that duel as well. Well, Nifty going to have to up his kill tally quite a bit if they're going to stand a chance in this round.
Oh yeah, 5 to find. The second he goes for a shot as well, they're going to know exactly where he'll be. But I mean, since there is so much time left, he basically has to commit for the push, right? He's going to have to go for it. I can't imagine, especially with Taco pushing out B, that he's going to be able to save this weapon. Well, his position has definitely been given up now. It's going to be a hell of a shot if he wants to be able to connect on the fall. He's got to worry about the flank as well. Time is taken away. And he does get the first kill, but he's not going to expect the second player towards ramp. And KNG, well, we'll drop him. And MIBR will be able to take the reins back and take another round. And also have 4 players remaining after.
Yeah, this is just evidence of how Dust2 CT side a lot of the time is a gamble. It's a risk. So you can see that in that round, MIBR, they send 4 players towards long. It gives them that initial control. It also helps the 3 players from Team Envy went through and they killed every single one. Of course, you can't necessarily expect to do that every single time, but you need to try and gain map control. Now, early on in this round, it's a quick trade. Ryan goes down, but it's at the loss of KNG, and Fur, this time he's punished. He's tried that a couple of times now, and seemingly Envy have caught on. Early aggression hasn't been worth it. Fallen now takes the reins as he looks to try and control middle, and it's a split across the map. 1 on A, 1 on B, and just a man in the middle. Because of that, the T's, all they really have to do is group up here, and it's going to be a very difficult time for either of the players. They're just going to be patient. I think maybe expecting to still see some aggression from the CTs. You're a man down. Somebody wants to try and get you back into the round, but as of right now, the risk seems to be to put a second player towards that B site. T's yet to really decide on where they want to go just yet.
Well, with Taco and Fallen locking down B, Marin's going to have a hell of a time if they do head towards the safe side. I'm actually surprised to see Envy still holding these angles so late into the round. Have a smoke go in towards short. It looks like two players are going to be grouped up in towards middle, and I think they're just going to kind of set their feelers out of where the enemy team is going to be. The bomb moose still going to be inside the lower tunnels. And it looks like MIBR will be keeping like kind of this 1-1-1, except Fallen leaning towards the B side so you can escape if they do come out towards middle. Marin might just try to stall for time here. Molotov comes in. Mihu's going to drop in towards CT, and Fallen, I think he gets the information from his teammate. He knows it's going to be there, and he knows the push is coming towards B.
Yeah, all they really need to do is drop that bomb. There's only 13 seconds left on the clock, but just while they delay, Fallen's not going to be able to stop them. Incendiary will go down, but there goes Mihu. He knew he was there, but needed to try and deny that plant. Oh, it's down to Mayan. 1v3, already half health. A kit, a flashbang, and deciding just to back out of there. Can't really blame him. CT side finances aren't really in a great spot, and, well, loss bonus is actually at 0, so they'll only get 1,400 into the next round. It would mean that he can potentially drop something for a teammate. Although if they want an AWP, it'll have to be Glass Cannon, and it'll have to be KNG, although that's not really an issue. I'll be interested to see what MIBR actually decide to do, because going into the next round, it will not be pretty if they decide to risk it. But at the same time, an extra $1,900, well, it will make a big difference, but it would also give an extra couple of rounds over to Envy.
I guess it's if you have the confidence in Marin to win you the round. He actually drops.
Yeah, he's got
In
enough.
for a bit of first, so he's gonna. Yeah, I just didn't know if they were gonna like pistol and support him or go for the full buy up with rifles. It seems they will be going with the rifles. Fallen though will be the one on 3K, gonna go for the scout. So keeping at least 2 scoped weapons in this round, but a very crucial round for them because if they lose this, Envy's looking at 5.
Pretty nifty to get the opener. He get tagged up in return, but Arch only 25 HP lost, and Iron's been lost in return. Fallen is just going to drop the scout. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed because I like watching Fallen with a scout. I think that there would have been some style points added because I'm sure he would have got a kill. Instead, yeah, he takes a smart decision, picks up that M4 instead, and, well, the T's again. They're relying on Nifty to get those opening picks, or Mihu, depending on the round. And then they just slow down, and I like it. It makes things a bit awkward for MIBR, because most of the time in these situations, you feel like you have to go for information. You have to start searching to find out where your opposition are actually going. Now, they throw down the Xbox smoke, but more so to give them a path across. It blinds a lot of the players. Of course, if anybody did directly peek into mid, they'd be killed by Nifty anyway. And it means that MIBR have absolutely no idea that they've crossed all the way over, and they're about to walk into an empty B site.
I think it's just the commitment, right? They're like, if they head towards B, all right, we'll just save the weapons. If they come out towards A, we get some kills, we'll go for it. And I'd almost assume, like, once this bomb gets planted, we should be seeing MIBR just go towards A just to make sure to save the weapons.
Yeah, I think unless somehow Fallen managed to, like, headshot 2 people through the door as they jumped across, there was never going to be anything there. So, after a bit of a slow start, MV are now starting to drag themselves back into this game, of course. A lot of the time, this map does become quite T-sided. Not necessarily because it's not a balanced map, but more so because you can see teams really build up momentum, of course. When you get the confidence going, getting those correct spawns can give you entries across the map, and we see more aggressive challenges for long, maybe a push into B. But if the CTs can slow them down, get those AWPs going again, it becomes a little bit tougher, because that was what was working in the early rounds. There wasn't really a counter to what KNG and Fallen were doing. Instead, well, it seems like Nifty's risen up the table. He was 1-7 not too long ago. He's now 5-8. Mihu still at the top of the board. And while Ryan's having a little bit of a tough time, with the fact that they're now starting to gain some traction, I'm sure he'll come back in a moment.
Yeah, let's not talk about it, Tom. Let's just ignore it for now. It's already had a tough time in this game. But it's still going to be another round taken for Envy. And you look at MIBR, I was saying that, you know, if they lose the last round, they'd probably have to save. But I guess having 4 players alive, well, they're going to continue to be able to try to do something in this round. But they've been really unable to, I guess, deal with their aggression not working. You know, I feel like once Envy like woke up to the fact that MIBR like, you know, push short, looking to peek in towards long, that they've been able to shut them down, you know. And MIBR are the ones that kind of need to come up with a new game plan. They have to be very careful of Mihu towards lower. Just able to, I think it was dominate Fur in a prior round. And we can just see how passive they're holding pretty much everywhere else. They've given up on that short control fairly early. They do have the long control, however. And Envy are more than happy to continue to play the super slow kind of style.
Yeah, a lot of their T side that so far though has been fairly reliant on getting those opening picks. Now, luckily, when you have the Polish powerhouse of Mihu on your team, that really isn't something you have to worry about too much. This time it's going to be Ryan though, and he actually peeks with the bomb. Now, I'm going to go ahead and assume he did not know he had that. I don't think anybody on his team knew he had that because they flashed him into the angle. So, a mistake, but luckily, I don't think it was spotted. So the CT side aren't going to try and challenge for that. It would have been a risk anyway to do so. But even still, they've taken that opening pick. Things have only got worse for Ryan, and well, they may have cleared that close angle, but they're starting to run out of time. And the CTs have actually done a very good job of holding on to a lot of their utility. So you've got a few flashbangs. You still got a smoke on Taco, and that's the real worry, because they're going back to B. And I believe he may have even just started to throw that down. If it goes, well, they've already got one down. If he throws that in, this is going to be so tough. Now, they've left it so that KNG can't actually see anything. He's got no vision as they push into the site. The first one's still going to be very easy for him as they walk through. Second as well, KNG, they just can't stop him at the back of the site. 3 already, round over. Mihu, you can kill as many as you want, but you aren't winning this round. And to be honest, that double up set up again, they just can't do anything about it.
Yeah, it came down to the aggression to stop it before, and I love the way, you know, KG plays that. He gets the first kill. He doesn't try to shoot blindly through smoke either to maybe get lucky. He gets the first, and then he hides for a little bit of time just to, like, kind of delay it even further, because obviously, Envy, either they had to rush him down to kill him to get the bomb planted, and then he could have been covered off from double doors, or they would have had to have played slow, and then time would have run out, and they would have been able to plant anyways. So he played that so well, down to a T, and that does obviously net MIBR the 7 rounds now total on the CT side, and we will have the timeout coming in. Gonna come out of Envy, and I can respect that. I definitely think it's a time for them to use it, but they have forced up into this round. They do have, well, I say forced up, they basically have the full buy, minus, you know, a couple of nades here or there. But how's Nifty? I mean, you said before, like, me who gets the openers are Nifty, and I don't know how you can depend on them to be so consistent in doing so. Especially when MIBR stopped playing so aggressive now. They just play a little bit more passive, waiting for them to come to MIBR's waiting arms.
But that was definitely the adaptation in this round. Like, we've seen Fallen and KNG and Fur, in fact, all peak mid regularly over the rounds that were won by Envy. This round, nobody peaked. They sat back, they waited, and already, look, you can see the opening kill. Now, you witnessed that Fur wanted to retreat, but with KNG going down, he's now decided to stick around a little bit longer. Of course, they wanted that man advantage, but unfortunately, the trade was in so quickly onto his teammate that he feels like he might need to take another risk. The flashbang's going to be there, and unfortunately, Mihu managed to avoid it. Going to give the T's an advantage. Nice nade will at least trade back a bit of damage. And now Mine's going to go for the peak, but Nifty was prepared. The support system from Envy is going to keep Mihu alive a little bit longer, and now Fallen, well, he's stuffed here. Wrong side of the map, B site already under their control. And once again, it's just this effective pick play that's working out for Envy. And unfortunately for MIBR, those AWPs, they're definitely not coming back in the next round.
I mean, again, it was the aggression that caused the downfall for MIBR. You had Ferd try to go for the peek again in towards Catwalk with the flashbang, but someone wasn't blind, then he dies. Then you have, I believe, Fallen flashing Mayor into peek towards short. Mihu was completely blind, but Nifty wasn't. He gets the kill. I mean, that's kind of like 2 kills you just give over to the other side just off the fact of, you know, getting a little bit too aggressive there. And yeah, that's where Emmy's been able to capitalize. Fallen able to get one. He's got another player towards long behind him, however. And I don't know how he's going to escape this. I don't see him escaping with this weapon.
If he doesn't miss, then he might not have too much of a problem. Envy actually just throwing players into the wind, and unless he just got all the flashbang spawn, that's sick from Calyx. It left him completely blind. Oh, he was so close to saving that. It was a nice attempt from Fallen. A 4v1 pushing him, and oh, if he gets the kill on Calyx, that AWP is his to keep. But unfortunately, they're now in a bit of an awkward situation. You can see they're taking a pause. I would almost bet that it's because of their economic situation, because you have Fur with the ability to buy, KNG as well. The 3 other players on the squad, absolutely no chance. And their loss bonus, again, is at absolutely nothing. So you kind of have to sit there and go, well, really, we should take a hit this round. Maybe buy a few pistols. Taco's still going to be in a bit of trouble in the next. And, well, in fact, Fallen's not going to have a particularly good buy either. But we can get the double AWP setup back. That's what's been working for us. We can try and be a bit more passive again with all of our utility. And we don't need to just throw everything in this round.
I like that, actually. I like that they didn't really buy. Oh, no, last second. All right. It's just like, I like how they didn't buy anything. You know, they didn't buy any pistols as well to have that extra money. And then all of a sudden I see all that money disappear into 2 M4s, a Deagle, a 5.7, and a Scout. I mean, there's not a ton of money to spend on Envy's side, to be fair. This is still just going to be an extremely hard round to win. They have 2 players pushing up B. They're going to get the 1-for-1 trade there, it looks like, with Fur taking down Calyx, but Taco has fallen. They got some early information. Mihu, though, what a shot. Takes Marion down, and it does give him the control of the A site. And now it comes down to a 2-on-3 retake here. MIBR, they do have the flashes and a smoke. And luckily for them, there's only 2 players on the site. That's going to be Moose, who's actually back towards top of middle. So they have an equal footing here, but they need to hit their shots, and they are going to run out of time if they're not quick. Or Ryan does that.
Ryan patiently waiting, and well, Force Buy unfortunately hasn't worked for MIBR. This is going to give a wave right back into the game, and Moose, well, his late flank could have caused issues if obviously his teammates had gone down, but luckily for him they didn't, and he's going to be able to clean up the remaining gun. Of course, the way this works, 2,400 into the next round, we will still see a purchase. The only reason I sort of suggested saving was just because they wanted to play the double AWP so much, and they would have had them in that next round based off one player having 5,000, the other having, I think it was 4,400. Basically would have sat them both with 5,800 plus going into the next round, so left them in a bit of an awkward situation. You are correct, though. That was a good opportunity to send Envy's economy packing, and even an 8-7 here for MIBR wouldn't be too bad. However, Envy, I think they're going to be quite happy with that. You have to remember this was an early 5-0 lead for MIBR, so since then they really have pulled this back into their favor. They did manage, I think it was 10 rounds versus Liquid in the match they played before on the T side, so we'll get to witness at least a little bit more of their CT side play, and if it will work quiet as well. For now, though, 4-man stack on the B side. As long as the Ts don't make the mistake of walking into the honey trap, it should be a very easy round for them.
And we also have to look at like the grand scheme of things, right? Is that both these teams are 2-1 at the moment. Envy lost to Liquid, and MIBR lost to Liquid. But right now, because of, I guess, round differential, Envy's technically ahead of them in terms of being top 3.
Envy lost to Furia.
Wait, okay, did I write these? Dude, I can't write. I literally can't write. Okay,
I think
so they beat Liquid, they lost to Furia.
3 times this match that they beat
It's
Liquid.
Fine. It's fine. Because the point I'm trying to make is that Envy going to play against Bad News Bears next. Yeah. Hold on. Some decent damage being done. Okay, round's over. So Envy beat Liquid, lost to Furia. But the thing is, they play against Bad News Bears next, and they're 0-3. MIBR play against Furia, who are 3-0 at the moment. So if you're MIBR, I think this is almost a must-win for you, because that match coming up against Furia tomorrow, or whenever it actually is going to be so difficult for them.
Yeah, well, it's really getting interesting now, because you've got, if Liquid win today, oh, this is so dirty. You could have 3 teams on 9 points going into what will be the last matches. So it really is all to play for. Obviously, the 2 teams at the bottom are kind of stuffed. No wins on the board. Chances of pulling that back, I think they're impossible, but maybe there's some way that round difference can come through. I'm sure one fellow admin, Michael, will scream at me if I get something wrong, so I'm just not going to say anything at all. But yeah, it really is. Group B is looking super interesting, and it's mainly thanks to the team playing right now, Envy. They have thrown a spanner into the works. I think people didn't expect them. I myself didn't expect them to come out this strong. They're going to go pushing into the B side. It's been a bit of a tough one from them, but no AWPs this time. Taco, however, is still here. It's had a reasonable game when they have pushed in this direction. Man, it's already going to be lost elsewhere, but they've got stuck in the tunnels, and it's just going to have to be a fallback from Nifty. Luckily, there's still lots of time on the clock. And are they going to expect Ryan to be this far falls And now Ryan's just holding the remaining players in. He's just going to go running through, but the timing... Oh, he's going to get there at the end. And a trade is absolutely fine. He sits it in a 2 versus 1. And while Moose and Nifty, they're already going to have the plant and after plant positions by the time KNG gets anywhere near the site.
If Fur doesn't die there, he catches the bomb and rotate towards A. And I would almost say that's a 1 round for MIBR. But now leaving KNG alone against 2. They're both on site, luckily, so they're sticking together. We have dual Berettos for Moose. I don't know exactly why. But Nifty's going to get the op shot either way, and that will be the half. Envy taking the lead 8-7 after being down 5-0.
Yep, of course, we are going to go to a short break, though. And this first map will be concluded once we return.
To life again, dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
I was running round so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I end up seeing red. Is it such a ghostly revelation? I may have fucked up all my chances.
And we ain't sleeping on the floor again. We never sleeping on the floor again. For the ones who didn't make it out, for the ones that didn't see the life, for the ones that never cared, never gave a thought, found no happiness in that brand new car, or the house you bought. I see you talking about the love you lost, and it was gone like way before you ever thought it was. Yeah, I took my time, no quick ones, quick run, quick guys to get back there. Hot roads, I didn't think I come back fierce, cause
I was running round so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I end up seeing red. Is it such a ghostly revelation? I may have fucked up all my chances.
Well, the first half couldn't be closer as we are about to head into the second half of Dust2. It really is difficult to say at this point who's going to take things over the line. Of course, it was a very good start from MIBR, but ultimately things started to slip away from them. The double AWPs couldn't be afforded, and towards the end, they didn't really have the economy to take things over the line. Now, we have to see if they can do things on the T side. As said, though, if momentum gets going, if they get the AWP rolling, I do think Envy are going to have a tougher time, and in all honesty, the last time we saw these two teams play, it was fairly dominant for the Brazilians. I definitely think that Envy at least seem a little bit more comfortable in themselves, maybe having a little bit more time to gel as a team. And we're seeing a lot more, maybe even from Mihu and Calix, just because they've started to settle in America. Of course, they did pick up their lives, move them all the way over, and hey, it seems to be going pretty good so far.
All right, yeah, looks like we actually are good to go. There was a little bit of an issue for one of the players, but everything has been sorted. And yeah, I mean, you already said before, MIBR, I think you said 10 rounds they took against Liquid on Dust2.
That was Envy.
Oh my god. How about you just solo cast today?
Envy beat Liquid. That's all you need to remember. But here we go.
I don't have any words for today, honestly.
Looking like we might
It's an
have
off day.
a relatively quick push into the B site. There's only going to be one defender this time. It will be Moose trying to hold things down. The rotation actually from Calix, he's deeper into middle, so he's going to have to run as fast as little legs can carry him to get into the site for some full execution from MIBR. Moose just hiding in the corner, hasn't been spotted. Already 2. Make that 3 for Moose. He's gone nuclear, but Fallen's found 2 back. So this makes things possible. Of course, the CT side quick on their rotations, and although the retake normally quite difficult, there's no utility. The second they hear the bomb, they go pushing, and KNG and Fallen don't stand a chance. It's going to be Envy taking the pistol round mainly because of the heroics of Moose on that solo B hold. But the bomb does go down. Now, I've seen a fair few teams still invest into buying into this round. Now, Fallen has enough that they could go for an AK or 2. And then they really could challenge. Some of the times, the Ts actually do come up with a better purchase. And, well, Fallen already purchasing the AK. I think it's clear what's about to happen.
Well, they're still going to be up against the Scout out of Nifty. And then 2 from us out of Envy. Decent amount of utility to use as well for Envy to help delay some things they have. Let's see. Moose over towards B again. They're keeping Calix in towards the middle, so they're kind of really banking on the fact that Moose can hold them off from long range, and the M4 probably one of the perfect weapons to do it there. Double nade comes in though, and that's about 100 damage done between the 2 players of MIBR. It's already off to a rocky start here for MIBR. So actually, Envy giving up a lot of mid control here.
Maybe banking on the fact there's not a lot of utility for MIBR, or even just the fact that maybe the rifles aren't in play, but starting to come under pressure. Ryan actually burning a little bit more than he probably should have done, but not too much of an issue just yet. These, after initially being quite patient in their hold, are going to start making their way seemingly towards the A side. Now, there's no one on long, but the CT side are making it pretty clear that they don't want to allow anybody to be going towards short. Smoke will fall, and yeah, a take at this point is going to become quite awkward because that's going to be another 15 to 20 seconds burnt off the clock. In fact, the T's are going to take that decision and actually go solely through long, just leaving KNG behind as a man to catch off the rotation. This will make things fairly difficult, but they do still have the scout and a few rifles to try and challenge here. But with 25 seconds, they need to get moving.
Oh, Nifty. Decent damage done. Finds Taco as well. The push has been slowed down quite a bit. 18 seconds left to go, and they're going to have to rush into the site here. Fallen's able to trade one back and Fur as well. Some decent damage has been put through. 3 players left on the side of Envy. 10 seconds left to go. KNG can't quite connect the shots on a Moose in middle, though. And now leaving them down a man or 2. And they can't even... Did they even get the bomb plant in time?
No.
Oh, man. They tried to boost.
What? Do you see what Calix just did? That's so
No, I'm
gross.
following auto director.
No, so am I. Well, the observer. It's not auto director anymore, Jason. Yeah, he just
That's what I
jumped
call
in.
my observers.
He just jump in headshot the man on the site. It didn't matter. He wasn't going for the bomb plant anyway. But yeah, that was gross. And I think I don't know if they realized how long was left on the clock, because right at the end they went for a running boost to get over, well, basically over the gap in long, and they only had 10 seconds. And then I think someone may have also screwed up the jump onto the box, which happens to everyone, but it's very painful because I think they may have just still had enough time. But even still, that running boost was so risky to even attempt. And I get that you want to make sure that you get past the smoke, but with that little time, you just have to run. So a slip up from MIBR. Great work from Nifty, though. couple of kills off the scout and made things really awkward for them trying to get back onto the site. We are going to see the pause ended and the tees. They can't really invest much into this round. Couple of pistols. I think Fallen actually died after time as well. So he's in a really awkward situation. Had to spend his remaining $300 getting a smoke, and that is it. And so going into the next round, everybody else will have a buy, and without a bomb plant, or even maybe with a bomb plant, he won't have the best scenario. It'll still be an AK at least if they can get a bomb down.
Oh, they're run straight through the fire. And actually gonna be able to kill Moose somehow off of that. Mihu's been able to get around behind them, and they're not expecting to be here so quickly as Calyx is looking to prevent that bomb from getting in towards the B site. Mihu, in the meantime, looking to push. He spots him out, but Calyx is pretty much doing everything himself. And MIBR's rush towards B is going to be easily shut down. And Envy now going to go up to 11.
I think they just lost a gun. Yeah, they did. I don't know why Mihu didn't just keep that M4. But instead, he tried to throw it to a teammate, and then it just didn't get saved. So even though that round wasn't hugely successful for MIBR, they still actually took 2 guns out of the frame with only 1 kill. So there you go. Two guns, 1 kill. That's an impressive round for them. But this is the problem. Like, Fallen can only come in with a scout. Kevlar, they really needed that bomb plant to at least give him a rifle. The rest of them at least will still have a decent buy going into this round. Plenty of utility on the majority of the players. And Envy have to make sure that they don't let anyone get back into this one, because financially they're not really in the best of positions.
Well, Nifty was in a good position at least to get that shot on a KNG. Is the man advantage. He safely escapes as well. And Envy set themselves up in a decent position to potentially get 12. And considering they were down 5-0, and it wasn't even like a close 5-0 as well. I think like Ryan was on -1 still at that point. I think the most kills they had was Mihu at 3. They've definitely have been able to just completely reverse the tide of this game. Looks like MIBR are looking to maybe push out middle. Now, there's actually no one watching from the CT side towards A. There's actually not even really watching from the B side either. So they could have a relatively clean push in towards the B side if they want to go for it. Smoke's going to go down, or Nifty might make the call. There's a little bit of a gap above it where you could potentially get a shot off. It comes down to Moose to try to hold on to this with Calyx as well.
Alex looking away at slightly the wrong time. He's worried about the tunnels, but there's nobody coming in that direction, and just both trying to make their way through the window and the door. That is as easy as it gets for Envy. They clean up every single member of MIBR, and now things are starting to get a bit worrying. 12-7. Envy looking strong. Finance is now built up. They've got 3 AKs on the CT side, and the T's still don't have enough money to actually throw in an investment. And yeah, definitely a good time to take a pause for the Brazilians. Slow down the game. There's a map that it's not your choice, but still one that you play quite regularly. So you're gonna want to try and at least give Envy a run for their money. Make sure the confidence is rolling. I don't think it's going to affect MIBR as much as maybe less experienced teams, because obviously you got a fair few major winners in your team, at least getting to the final. So they're going to know how to reset themselves after this map. But even still, if you can build up a few rounds, start getting the confidence back. Okay, we started a little bit slow, but now we're in the rhythm going into your choice. I think they're going to be feeling a little bit better. For Envy, well, it started off as mainly just the Mihu show. I think he was on 18 kills while nobody had even broken into double digits. Now we're seeing everybody step up. It was 009, I think, for Ryan, and he's now up to 5 kills as well.
Why you gotta do that to him, man?
Hey, you got to point out the fact that he is starting to pull his weight. Like that's more important in my eyes than the fact that he started poorly, is that now that they're winning, he started to contribute as well. And Mihu, he's just having some fun. An aggressive peek to start things off. You can see KNG ready and waiting to try and find that kill, but eventually Mihu decides, okay, maybe I should just fall back. There's enough fun for this round. Again, that AWP is going to get traded out, though. The Tech 9 able to find one. It leaves Calyx in a little bit of an awkward situation. The push coming through hasn't worked, and they've actually killed the players from behind, so Calix is going to have to go pushing to try and find something more in this round. They're going to make their way back towards the A side. There's actually a player waiting in middle, Fur with the AWP, and he's left completely blind. If Calix can get this kill, he has a 1v1 where the opponent is desperately low. But in fact, he didn't want to take it. He's going to look to try and find the man on the site instead. Fur still waiting to try and hold off his rotations and patiently waiting. He may not even realize how far Calix has actually managed to get. I don't know if it's going to be expected by KNG, but he's just waiting. Hidden on the site. Will he be spotted? He will, but the bomb is planted for Fur. That was the plan. Can Calix do anything about it, though? The defuse just going to be tapped, trying to bait Fur in for a peek, but he's not fallen for it, knowing that he's likely just going for the hold at this point, and now has to go for the face, but I think Fur's done enough, and Calix knows it. He'll fall out of the round, and MIBR somehow managed to make that one stick. It's an 8th for the Brazilians, while Envy, they at least have enough money to buy. You still there, Jason? I can't tell what has happened to Mr. Kaplan, but for now, I guess I will just have to carry on. Go Nifty, about to come under some pressure. Again, hit the opening pick. Something he's been doing very well so far, and they actually don't even know that Ryan down here. The trades come in, but they haven't actually checked. This could be perfect. Ryan's redemption already getting one. The turnaround, though, from Fallen. So quick on the trigger. It's only going to be a single kill, and he basically saves their round. KNG also holding off on the cross of Fur with a headshot peeking through the gap in the smoke. Is going to set this T side up. A 3v1. Moose probably just going to have to hold on to his gun here. MIBR starting to fight things back. That kill from Fallen, lightning fast. It's got to be tilting for Ryan as well, because that was a moment where he basically could have won them the round. Yeah, your microphone is working.
Okay, so I didn't touch anything, and it just randomly stopped working. And then I just restarted the audio engine, and it works now. So cool.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds fun.
Technology is hard. I've learned that through trying to produce.
This has just been a bad day for me, I feel like, in general. Because I was literally touched nothing, was in game, and I started talking. And then I realized after you talked over me, I was like, wait a minute. I bet he can't hear me.
Yeah. Well, luckily for you, at least in Ukraine, where I am, in 1 minute starts a new day. So you can have a new outlook on life. You can obviously you have to wait another hour, but maybe going into the third map, it'll be a new day for you as well.
Can only dream. Can only dream of that. We'll find out if we can get there. Mihu's on 21 kills. Other side, KNG on 16. And Ryan, well, he's up to 6 kills now, but we have had another round go the way of the T side for MIBR. So they're starting to rise into the occasion. I was unsure of what kind of scoreline we'd really have, since we did have MV beat Liquid 16-7 on Dust2. And then we had Liquid beat MIBR 16-12. But then again, I feel like Liquid's eyes were a little bit more open to a team like MIBR than they were to a team like Envy. I think there's maybe more of an unknown factor in that match. But then again, if Mihu's playing like he did right now throughout the rest of the series, I still feel like Envy can win this 2-0 and almost guarantee themselves a spot through into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, as long as they don't slip up, it'll be in their hands, basically, which is always the best way for it to be. MIBR, on the other hand, do have a tough match versus Furia coming up, who, well, could be on one of the only teams on to still go flawless in this group. It's going to be an aggressive push, though. Good trade to start. And they're doing a lot of damage here. In fact, even a TK coming in to help. Moose now with a genuine chance. A 1 versus 2. Bomb dropped. They can't actually retrieve it just yet, and then they're going to be going down, tagging up. Fallen, the peek's in, though, and I think that Molotov might have been a little bit unkind to Moose there. Still, a singular rifle, a load of pistols, and 3 kills. It's not awful, especially considering that MIBR definitely haven't built up that much money just yet.
Oh yeah, Marin did so much damage in that fight too. Just kind of a shame. The little TK did come through in the end. He didn't want to stop holding that trigger button. But still, 12 to 10. MIBR have a couple rounds left to go. We are seeing the buy up out of Envy here on the CT side. We got the op for Nifty. You got Fallen still used on the T side right now for the Brazilians. Got another nade coming through. KNG knocked down to 43 health. Then Nifty's going to connect with the shot. It's a mana advantage for Envy off the bat. Well, you have seen them have mana advantages like this before, and they have lost out on them. And now it seems like the Brazilians are looking to still edge their way up towards long. I still feel like it's going to be tough to do unless you can get Fallen set up, because Nifty, he's just waiting with the op. He's actually holding a little bit of an off angle here. Flashbang just to help stall for time. Mihu there looking as well if they do try to go for the cross. Smoke's eventually going to have to come down, I would imagine. A flashbang, actually. They're going to use that for the cover, and Mihu's going to fall.
And it's left onto Nifty. He's being pushed close. He needs to do an awful lot from the site, and it will only be one. Great trading from MIBR. The flashbang's also on point, leaving so many players blind. Calyx has been held back. That little bit of utility. Both players can be coming in from the same angle, and just another Molotov falling. That's the moment. Too much time wasted. Sure, they have a kit. Sure, they have a bit of utility of their own, but I think they realized at this point that the T's could be set up absolutely anywhere. If they could have got in quick and maybe caught a few players with their pants down, there's a chance. But unfortunately, MIBR have played them there. And yeah, really good take. It's been a quiet game as well for Mayan so far, but comeback in this round, the entries were good. And that said, those flashbangs, like Nifty, I don't even think he knew how close they were by the time he finally stopped being blind. I can't remember, I think it might have been, was it Ryan holding the cross? Just
Mihu originally. Yeah, and I mean, it's unfortunate too, but I like the way MIBR played it. Like, they didn't choreograph their play towards the A site. They didn't, you know, throw the smokes down and then try to push in. They just used that one flashbang to completely catch him off guard. I really wonder what Nifty would have been able to do if the smokes did come down, or he had more of an idea of how close they truly were. But MIBR now one round away from tying things up after going up 5-0 in the first half. And Fallen, he's just going to rush straight out along. Double A coming up middle as well, not going to connect onto anyone. But Fallen's already gained a lot of ground here for them. But it's going to be so tough for Envy. I mean, they only have the 2 rifles and just the pistols forced up behind it.
They've also stuck both the rifles on B, so an all-in play. Pistols will be elsewhere, just almost as information gathering. Pikachu from Calyx does spot into tunnels as well, so do at least know that the likelihood is at this point it's not going to be B. Short control can at least be kept. So there's a chance for them to at least do some damage here. I think slowly but surely Envy are starting to work out where this push is actually going to be coming. Unfortunately, I think by the time they actually get into position, it's going to be too little too late. They might, however, be able to overwhelm Taco, who is just going to be waiting in mid. He knows that there's players around him at the moment. The second he gets his first kill, I think the second player is going to be right behind him. Absolutely no idea that Nifty was there. And even just as a save here, this would be 3 rifles. Now, sure, it's nice. It would be great if they could go for this round and try and take down MIBR, but they're an afterthought. They're set up. There's not much in terms of utility. However, that kill might make things a little bit more interesting. They still have a kit and a smoke, an extra flashbang to boot. These actually don't have anything to throw down either, so the CTs are just going to start to push in, and it's just going to come down to individual shots. What? It's actually going to get the opener as well. A little bit ridiculous. And now Mayan just trying to hold them off. They can't do anything here. The bomb's too far ticked. Sure, they got a kill on their way out and caused a little bit of extra cost for the Brazilians. But ultimately, it's going to be a round for MIBR.
Did I see that right? I didn't catch Calyx do it. Yeah, Samus just jumps and headshots KNG. Even him in the chat, he just said, you know, WTF on that one, and Moose just had to laugh. But yeah, what in what world does you hit that shot, you know? And see it happen twice within a game. But either way, they're still going to lose the round. They're going to force back up into this Nifty back on the AWP. And MIBR have a lot of money saved up, especially on a Fallen at 8.7. It looks like they're going to leave KNG to be the lone distraction towards Long Moose. Could do a little bit of damage if that nade did go in. Gotta be very careful though. Fur's got an op trail directly on top of him, and he's gonna use that smoke for protection. In the meantime, Envy are pushing out short, so They're trying to get some information. Moose is going to be completely overwhelmed in the site, though, I would imagine. Calyx, I'm not sure what he can do here. And, well, Taco, he shuts that down before they have a chance to defend.
That was so sneaky from Taco. He just goes straight through the smoke after it pops, and it seemed like Moose had absolutely no idea by the time they were pushing into the site, and Taco with both entries. Again, can't really ask for more from the Brazilian. 2 opening picks, round over. You're not retaking the B site, that's for sure. And the T's have so much money at this point, they can start hunting down these guns. So Envy really have to be careful because things are starting to slip. This is what I talk about when I say that I think this map can be very T-sided. Like, this is now 6 rounds in a row for MIBR, and it seems like they're just running with it. It's a call in the round. They're a little bit loose in their style. They rely on somebody to get in the entry kill, but it's working almost every single time. And now Nifty in a bit of trouble. He's going to be forced out, and Fallen will get rid of that AWP. Exactly what they were aiming for. Take out that big green gun on the remaining CT side. Have to just try and hold on. Now, luckily, because they saved those couple of guns from the round before, they can still buy quite comfortably here.
Yeah, especially with Calyx. I mean, he had a ton of money in the bank. A little bit of a timeout coming for Envy, and honestly, why wouldn't you at this rate? It's been very tough for you. You've lost the last 6 rounds in a row after taking the first round of the, or first 4 of the half. Wait, oh my, I'm gonna mess this up again, aren't I? Yep. Oof. Oh, I got scared there. Yeah, but still, you've lost quite a few in a row. You're not really seeming to be able to put a halt to the way MIBR are attacking. You've given a lot of ground, like they're not getting aggressive towards long to go for some early holds. They've tried doing some cheeky things by pushing people out from short, but that was just, again, with only pistols, without rifles. Maybe a short play would be something you could do here. Get the other information, you know, maybe boost up, get 2 players to push out, catch them towards lower tunnels. Or at least boost 1 up, it seems. And I think they will go for the early challenge there.
Mihu's been quite good at getting these opening picks. Look at how fast it is for MIBR. They've had enough. They're just going to go straight in, but there's aggression in the tunnels as well, and Taco's going to get caught. Now things become a little bit awkward. Mihu pushing behind. This round is a mess, a roller coaster, as everybody just tries to get aggressive, and somehow this has come out with the CT side on top. But there is now going to be a push towards the A side. Nifty, he needs to hit the shot. He's been very good so far, but they are going to be allowed to cross. KNG hoping for the headshot, but doesn't actually achieve that. That's so risky for Fallen, but he pulls it off. However, the trade's so quick, and KNG just needs to kill off Nifty. He gets into that 1v1, and he retrieves his big green. Could be Moose facing against him. He spots him, and he hits the shot. Of course he does. A ridiculous round by all accounts. But once again, it's the Brazilians to come out on top.
I don't even know how they win that. Honestly, that was just so awkward from both sides.
I want to see
Again,
Sponge
pushed out.
break that down.
Yeah, let's see it. Maybe I'll tweet it to him. Maybe I'll get him to try to do it off air and record it for us. We can put it in one of our segments for another show. But still, that was just so sloppy. The really aggressive play towards middle, completely catching the player off guard. KNG, it seems like he wants to continue with the rain from before. Takes down Nifty, but they have lost Taco, so it's going to be down to a 4-on-4. It looks like Ryan now trying to gather the information. They still have the player. I think that's Mihu. Yeah, towards CT. Not going to be able to hear them coming up just yet, but I am scared if anyone tries to go for a peek from short off of this.
Damage being done, though. A few tag players now, but Fallen still wins the duel. Moose could be able to drop the bomb, though. That's the bomb right in front of him. He knows it's there. Should have spotted it in the hands of his opponent, and Ryan's been a little bit sneaky through the smoke. I'm sure Mihu won't be overly happy with that death. Still, though, Fallen just isn't missing with this AWP. Both players, 12 HP. First for Ryan, looking for the second as well. But as said, Fallen hasn't been missing. And I think he might be a little bit confused as to where the IGL has actually gone. Going to be back to the B site. Of course, a single missed shot here, and you'd assume that Ryan is dead. Just could be spotting that he doesn't actually rotate through. And the issue is, Fallen could be anywhere. He spotted him initially. Ryan's going to go actually all the way back through spawn just to try and check where his opponent is. And Fallen's expecting a faster peak than this, but the rotation is going to take such a long time. I don't know if Fallen's going to be looking in the right direction. Eventually, he's going to have to plant the bomb, and I think the timing might actually ruin him here. By the time he plants, I think that Ryan's just about going to be close enough to get right up in his face. Fallen, it Depends on the angle he takes here. Looking to peek in towards the door is completely wrong as Ryan looks to round the corner. Does he have the spidey senses just to turn around? No, but he does go through the door. And now Ryan actually has absolutely no idea where Fallen has pushed to. He can make an educated guess, but it's the turnaround, and he misses the shot, but he goes down to 1 HP. It's so close. Almost expected him to shoot him through the door, but instead, Ryan wins the clutch. A 3K for him. Comeback from his poor start. And more importantly, a comeback for Envy. They've lost a lot of rounds in a row, but finally, they take one back.
No kid either for Ryan there. He had to clutch it out with just limited time remaining. I can't imagine what Fallen was thinking there too, because he had like 40 seconds left of just sitting there waiting to plant the bomb, and he's like, where the hell is this guy going? He could have went towards A. Obviously, he didn't know that Ryan flanked around back towards, T spawn. But this is gonna be it. This is the final timeout for Envy. They don't really have a chance to slow things down after this if they can't secure this round. Get things at an equal footing at 14 apiece. Still very doable for them, but they finally put a hold on this. Like, again, that was 7 rounds straight for MIBR, and they finally were able to take one. Mihu and Nifty both on 21 kills. Ryan actually on 11 now. He's been able to really step up, in the second half here. But can they do it again? Can Envy upset MIBR here in back-to-back rounds? They've been unsuccessful so far.
Well, they've definitely had a tougher time on their CT side. Fur does actually make his way out long, even though he gets hit by Incendiary. However, the CT side not going to react off of this. Going to take themselves back towards the site. They don't have much utility, so after the initial fight, they can't really hold on to long anyway. MIBR still in the driver's seat, still with the advantage. They can't take too many risks, although saying that, Moose is going to make his way into the tunnels. He's got to be careful. Lion's waiting on the other side, but both taking a tag and then a fallback. They've also pushed onto short as well. This is almost looking like a 4-man mission just to try and kill off Mayan, as the rest of the T's have all made their way out long. I don't know if the Argentinians don't expect anyone to be here, but he turns around at the perfect point. Gets that opening pick. Second smoke will, however, be falling elsewhere, as Ryan just going to sneak his way through the smoke. They've heard him, but he still gets the kill. However, it's still going to be a trade in favor of the Brazilian side as the push begins.
Aaron's still actually being so annoying inside lower as well. Gets another kill, this time on a Calyx. And Fur gets the entry onto the site. Now it's just left on the Moose in the 1-on-4. He's just going to try to save this weapon. They have really no money to spend. But Marion hasn't really given up on this position just yet. Now with the AWP, he won't get the shot off. And Moose will get the kill. Maybe if he's lucky, he can rescue this op and get away in time. But we can already see Fallen's rotating back towards T-spawn. One's going towards short and the other towards long as well. It seems like they don't want to challenge either because their money isn't really that clean either, to be fair. I feel like if Moose can save this, I think Envy might have a chance in the next round.
Worry is, they've almost got the maximum loss bonus, so there'll at least be a little bit of extra cash. But without this gun, he can't even drop, or at least buy himself. And they are approaching on his position. I think Fur just headshot him straight through the corner of the box. Impact player for sure, as now the money is going to be reduced to ashes for Team Envy going into what could be the final round of their map choice. A fantastic comeback in the end from MIBR. A streak on the T side after the same we saw on the CT. And one of the things that I feel like Envy have really struggled to do is actually control long. It's something that MIBR dedicated a lot of players to. They're going to try and do it here, but they failed once again. KNG ruling long once again. It's going to be Ryan to try and trade. He does get a kill, but takes a big tag. Almost feels like he has to fall back. He's going to try and push through the smoke, and KNG, that's all too easy for him. The man on the other side is Mihu. He is going to drop the bomb once more. Definitely had a slowdown since what we saw in the first half. Has got the bomb and an AK, and he's calling for backup, but Nifty is very, very far away.
Yeah, Nifty's just trying to cover his backside if they drop him from short. Other than that, he really has no information here. And you can see MIBR taking the time. They still got a minute left. No need to rush to get this bomb down. Obviously don't know where the last remaining player of Envy is going to be. And even at this rate, they don't know where any of them are going to be. Because Mihu's actually rotated back towards short. So he's given up the control of the bomb. Maybe expected them to pick it up and back away towards B, but he's going to continue to push. He's going to try to get behind them. Timing might work out extremely well from here. They do push out. And MIBR going to be able to secure the bomb in their hands yet again. And will they actually continue to push in towards A, or will they back up and fall? And he's the one trying to watch from behind. And the timing is so perfect for him. He only turned around at the last second there, gets the kill, and now it's all on Nifty to keep Envy's hopes alive on Dust2.
Anybody ever question the identity of Spider-Man? It's fallen. Like, he just has the Spidey senses. Every single time it seems he turns around at the perfect moment, and Taco is there to close things out. MIBR are going to take Dust2. It's a close matchup in the end, and there's plenty more to come, Jason. We'll be back after a short break to bring you map number 2.